Welcome to Verbal Pick Radio, where we give you a verbal image of life, and we are everyday people. Like to welcome you all to the show. Today we're dealing with the Archons and 5G. Some of you may have heard of the Archons, listening to Steve Coakley, and when he was talking about the Archons and the Boule. I just want to give you all a brief definition of the Archons. But before I go into that, we're talking about 5G, right? And dis-ease or diseases that comes along with the 5G waves, right? Well, we're not dealing with metal and stone, the actual structure, to satellite, the towers that they use in order to achieve the 5G. We're talking about not even the hands of those who make these towers to send out these 5G signals. We're talking about the mindset of the ones behind the thought, the idea of the 5G, and what are their proper names? Because the ones that are putting out this 5G are part of a group or part of the Archons. And Archons is spelled Archons, Archons. They're part of the Archons. And let me give you a definition of the Archons. The Archon is defined as a false king of tyranny, ruler that controls through masks of deception, promoted through warring technological abuse. Now, these groups of the Archons are not just located in America or located in Europe. They're worldwide, and they all communicate with each other, right? Okay. We'll keep going. Now, technological abuse is something that they had when CIA agents went out in 2016, Cuba and China, and they was complaining about being disoriented. Some caught pneumonia. Some was bleeding from the brain. But it come to find out that someone was using a microwave waves at a high level that was causing the ailments among these government employees, right? Okay, we're going to continue, though. Now, they say warring technological abuse, such as mind control, frequency implants, and military strategies, and can be applied to human or non-human sources, right? Non-human sources. If you look on television lately, they're saying, okay, the Navy's putting out declassified information pertaining to UFOs. So some of this 5G tower frequencies are actually war defense against what they believe could be a threat, an alien threat, UFO threat, or whatnot, because they don't understand it. So they're trying to create radio waves, in a sense, to better off these threats, right? It is both the military, human, and non-humans' shared greed for domination, of which they both employ hidden advanced frequency technologies designed to perpetrate and promote the archonic deception strategy. The archonic deception strategy of the NAA, the archonic deception and its patriarchal oligarchy stems mostly from the reptilian and draconian races from the Orion constellation. Together they are called the Orion Group. So when you see Orion, you can use another name as Archons. Same thing, right? Same thing. This is what we're dealing with. But I'm going to go on a little further to give you a little more dealing with the Archons. right? We're going. Okay, here we go. Okay. And we're going right here. If I can find it, y'all just bear with me real quick. Because I got to read this to you guys. And if I don't do this, then what I'll have to do is just go off of what I read and share that with you all. But I just want to read it word for word so you guys don't think that this is something that I'm making up, right? Which I am not, but I'm getting close. Bear with me for about another second. Wow, I can't believe it. Oh, maybe they don't want this read. You know what? I'm going to take it from here. And I'm going to do it anyway. Because this is coming from the Gnostics and dealing with the Gnostic glossary, right? Okay, we're going to just dive into it from here. Hey, it is what it is. I thought I was going to... should have marked it, though, but... okay. Should have... but I didn't. But still... we'll go from here. Man, it was talking about Yalabath and Adam and Eve. Wait, hold on, let me wait. Okay, let's go. We found it. It says, after Yaltabaoth, which is Yaltabaoth, accidentally breathed his own spirit, and this is almost like pneumonia, but it's Pneuma is what they call the Spirit of God, right? And this is in the Gnostics. And to Adam, he and his Archons tried to retrieve it. They created the third Adam, which was flesh endowed. Okay, although the third Adam was also androgynous, Yaltabaoth divided it into male and female. This was the creation of Adam and Eve. For all of the above, see Anthropos, which is Anthropos, for the division of the Anthropos into Adam and Eve. Then their temptation and fall. Okay, look. Okay. Wow. Okay, so when Eve was still with Adam, death did not exist. When she was separated from him, death came into being. Right. Yaltabaoth separated Eve from Adam to retrieve Sophia's spirit or power, which he had acquired for himself, but then lost when he accidentally breathed it into Adam. Yaltabaoth saw Sophia's spirit. I wanted Sophia another name for Lilith, but we'll keep going. Also named Epinoia, Epinoia, as a feminine image within Adam. Thus the Archon created Eve to try to retrieve it, but he failed, and Sophia's spirit remained in Eve. In the Apocryphon of John, Sophia's spirit is called Epinoia. Then the Epinoia of the light hid herself in him, Adam, and the chief Archon wanted to bring her out of his rib, and he, Yaltabaoth, made another creature in the form of a woman, according to the likeness of the Epinoia which had appeared to him. Okay. But the Epinoia of the Light cannot be grasped. Although darkness pursued her, it did not catch her. Through Sophia's spirit, Eve awakened Adam, and he saw the woman beside him. And in that moment, the luminous Epinoia appeared, and she lifted the veil which lay over his mind, and he became sober from the drunkenness of darkness. In hypostasis of the Archons, Eve was also created out of Adam, but Adam then returned to his second state as the second Adam, which was soul endowed. Let me get, so you don't think. So you got what they say in the first, second, third Adam. First was the spirit, then the soul, then the fleshly Adam came. They were saying it was a process, right? Okay. While Eve became the spirit endowed being, due to the spirit in her, Eve awakened Adam. They, the Archons, opened his side like a living woman, and they built up his side with some flesh in place of her. And Adam came to be endowed only with soul, and the spirit-endowed woman came to him and spoke with him, saying, "Arise, Adam." The spirit-endowed Eve reminded Adam of their original state, that they were once united as an androgynous angel. She lifted the veil which lay over his mind, and he became sober from the drunkenness of the darkness, and he recognized his counter image. He knew her to be his CG, or consort, and CG is CYZYGY, or consort. In hypostasis of the Archons, Eve also does this by revealing herself to Adam as his female counterpart. Then the authorities came up to their Adam, and when they saw his female counterpart speaking with him, they became agitated. Right. The temptation, Dr. Bob then placed Adam and Eve before the two trees in paradise. He exhorted them to eat from the tree of life, since the root of this is bitter and its branches are dead. Its shadow is hate, and deception is in its leaves. But Yahtabar forbade them to eat from the tree of knowledge. In the Apocryphon of John, the tree of knowledge has Sophia's spirit in its fruit, and so Christ descends in the form of an eagle and bids them to eat from it. Sophia, she who came down in innocence in order to rectify her deficiencies, and through her they have tasted the perfect knowledge. I, Christ, appeared in the form of an eagle on the tree of knowledge, which is the Epinoia, Epinoia, from the foreknowledge of the pure light, that I might teach them and awaken them out of the depth of sleep. For they were both in a fallen state, and they recognized their nakedness. Naked in the context means naked of imperfection. And when they, the Archons, recognized that he, Adam, was luminous and that he could think better than they, there you go. And that's the problem. Whenever man is so enlightened or start using his more capacity or percentage of his brain, it upsets the hierarchies or the Archons. So you have someone like Zbigniew Brzezinski who would say, well, in earlier days it was easier to control a million than kill a million, but now it's easier to kill a million than control a million, because these Archons want to stay in control, even though time is up. Right. For they were both in a fallen state, and they recognized their nakedness. Okay. And when they recognized that he was luminous, and that he could think better than they, and that he was free from wickedness or naked of imperfection, they took him and threw him into the lowest region of all matter. In hypostasis of the Archons, Adam and Eve ate from the tree of knowledge, but they are taught to do so by the snake, who is positively identified as the instructor. Then the female spiritual principle came into the snake. The instructor, because they call the snake the instructor, and it taught them to eat of the tree. And the carnal woman took from the tree and ate, and she gave to her husband as well as herself. And these beings that possessed only a soul ate, and their imperfections became apparent in their lack of knowledge, and they recognized that they were naked. They recognized that they were naked of the spiritual elements. And there you go. Now we get into something. They didn't want them to eat from this tree of knowledge, right? Because if you study the teachings, that Adam and Eve wasn't the first beings on the planet. The first Adam and the first Eve came about through the grafting of Yaakov. And we forbid them to eat from or to gain a part of this knowledge, because while once you are taught a system of tricknology and you recognize your imperfection, and then you bottle all that up into beings, then of course you're going to have hell on the planet. And that's what took place. And that's where we at. And now you have those who call themselves that higher ups, who call themselves Archons, who learned this technology, coupled with 5G, UFO, all of this, and now spirit beings is being victimized by beings with only souls who want to continue to rule on the planet, even though their time is up. We'll get more into this when I have guests on and get a little bit deeper, but we just want to break that down for you all here on Verbal Prick Radio. We out.